Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cheap Seats. I am hosting, as always, with Orca Shield.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well,
So,
I know you say this, but I have to have you, otherwise, it, it's not much of a conversation and more of a rant.
no,
But
well, you say that, but I'll tangent away from the wrestling real quick, right? Early doors here. So at work we have to run this thing. So in where I live, it's the TT at the minute, which narrows it down for people listening. That means it's the Isle of Man. But we have these daily calls at work to make sure our network's running well and there's not too much congestion or anything that we need to do that we need to be concerned about for like the amount of influx of people on our small island.
right,
And there's supposed to be managers from all over. And the guy from the shop missed the first meeting, missed the second meeting, came to the third one, and then said, "Sorry about yesterday. I was by myself." Well, he started off by saying, "I was by myself," and then he went, "And we had a team meeting on, a team brief on."
oh,
So
okay.
I was just like, so I just muted the thing and went to the other managers that sat in the same room to me. I was like, does that mean he's just talking to himself in a mirror if he's alone, but having a team brief? So he's just like, you can do this. You can make that sale today. That's what this podcast would turn into if it was just you.
Yeah, yeah, it's just me cutting a promo for an hour and a half about what I did and didn't like about.
An hour and a half. You are being very kind considering this is a bumper episode with a PLE in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, I mean, we might as well crack straight on with it. So we,
Well,
no, go on.
actually, I'll make it quick for everyone involved. SmackDown, there was no Tiffany Stratton, King and Queen of the Ring. She made an appearance in the crowd. Raw, she wasn't on it. So thanks everyone for listening. There's nothing to talk about this week. It's a break from me. Just-
Wow! Imagine a record 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Amazing.
but yeah, let's crack on. That's the jokes out the way. Let's crack on. I'll let you lead. You lead the way.
So yeah, so we had the SmackDown before the King of the Ring tournament in Saudi Arabia.
Still
Um,
live though from Saudi Arabia.
right. So they had the well, I mean they had the semi-final match between Bianca Belair and Nia Jax. We I think we predicted correctly,
Yes, we
very
did.
much so, that Nia Jax would go on to defeat Bianca Belair. Um, Apparently, a lot of positive feedback was given for the bodysuits that the women have to wear during the
Yep.
Saudi shows. They said they're looking cooler and cooler as each year goes by. So
Yeah, obviously it's not something that I mean we can't judge. It's the rules and laws
yeah,
in Saudi Arabia, so we're not going to like
no,
slander their religion. But
no,
it's it is nice because it's not a lot you can do. But I will say that I think this was made a bit easier because it's only really Bianca that had to try because Nia Jax wears something similar
that's
anyway.
correct. Yeah,
So it's not really a big change for her.
no,
But she looked great in hers. They
yeah.
obviously can style them whatever way they want.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, they can add their own flares and everything, which is really really
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool little touch. But yeah, yeah. So Nia Jax defeated Bianca Belair. Lyra Valkyrie was watching from the front row.
Yeah,
Um, uh,
yeah.
yeah,
It's weird because like
yeah,
you cut to the female wrestlers in the front row, but again
yeah,
because they're female, she's just sat there and like all wrapped up.
yeah,
Just like I can't be in my normal stuff or just street clothes. I have got to wear what I'm wearing tomorrow.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Which was, yeah, it's fine, but it's also a bit poo. But you know, it is what it is. Then we had a throwaway six-man tag, but an interesting one because of the people involved. We had the Street Profits and LA Knight versus A Town Down Under and Carmelo Hayes. Um, the fact that Carmelo Hayes was even here was amazing, but that was it wasn't a official match because I say it wasn't official. It wasn't on the card initially
It was
because
the Grace and Waller effect.
yeah, we had the Grayson Waller effect first, whose guest was Carmelo Hayes. Or no, it wasn't. They were trying to bring out a different guest, right? But then Carmelo Hayes interrupted and just showed up. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was a bit weird because when Carmelo first came up, people were obviously cheering for him, but he was a heel in NXT.
Yeah, he
Then
was. Yeah.
they slowly started to transition him to heel on SmackDown, but it just sort of came out of nowhere because people were like, don't get me wrong, he's still. I'm not saying that because he's a heel, he's a shit wrestler. He's insanely talented, but people were really starting to get behind Carmelo Hayes in the tournament, and then all of a sudden he's just gone
Yeah.
heel, and they've just gone, yeah, you can go against LA Knight, and it's like, oh no, don't put him against the most popular guy on the
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah. It's not good, but I don't know. Maybe because AJ Styles is winding down his in ring stuff, or he's having a
Ooh,
think about it.
shall we should we take a little tangent since you mentioned his name? Did you see the tweet? 'Cause we don't talk about NXT here. That's not one of the ones we talk about. But there was the Forbidden Door was kicked wide open again on NXT.
Yeah, we had
Um,
a lot of TNA guys. Well, we had
yeah,
two TNA guys. So it was Jordan Grace, right,
yeah.
and
Um,
Ethan Carter.
but then ever since then, AJ Styles has been speculation of him going back through the because doors open both ways.
Yeah.
It's a speculation of him going back to TNA for a run with that belt since he's winding down.
Oh, okay.
Because
One
there
more
was
run in
a
TNA.
segment on I think it was this show maybe, and he wanted another match for the title, and I don't know if it was Raw or this show, but then they basically said, "Look, I can't just give you a match, although you probably deserve it." And he goes, "I haven't got much time left."
Mm,
And then I
mm,
think there was a tweet from one of the TNA guys just basically saying doors open both ways, and
yeah.
sort of like everyone sort of blew up. They weren't sure if it was about AJ or Drew because there was also a photo of Drew with the belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's enough for a tangent on that. That's a
That's
story for another time.
yeah. We have to see what happens with that. Although it would be interesting. So yeah, so yeah, there was a bit of shithousery with A Town Down Under and Carmelo Hayes shit talking LA Knight basically. Um,
I don't know
yeah,
how I feel about A Town Down Under anymore. I love both the men in that. I love as wrestlers. That they're great
yeah,
and they can be great heels, but for some reason, it's like it's almost Vince-esque booking now because every week is just the same. They have the Grayson Waller effect. He'll shit on wherever they are, like
mm,
basically heel 101. But
mm,
like when he first came up, his promos, Grayson Waller, this is were fantastic. Like when he said
yeah,
about like when he was like taking care like Slate in the UK and then went it should be WrestleMania Australia and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
stuff like that was creative and fun, and now it's just like generic. You suck. This crowd's boring. This
I
this guy's terrible.
yeah, I think he had to probably restrain himself a bit um, in Saudi. Can't really say too much about the crowd, otherwise they'll probably arrest you and you'll never be seen again. So there's a lot of. I think this was probably a very neutered Grayson Waller effect because he's normally pretty good, but you're right, it is starting to become. I think he's starting to discover that it doesn't matter where you go in America, there are many things that are the same, and I think he's getting to a point of struggling to start to come up with clever things about the town that he's in.
Yeah,
Whereas when he's in the UK, he's got there's so much he can say. Like when he's in France, there's so much he can say. But yeah, I look forward to seeing more from them. I don't think they've quite got round that corner yet. I think giving them the titles was definitely the right thing, but now they've got to push on from there. Uh, but yeah, six-man tag got started because the Street Profits came down to back up LA Knight. Um, so for some reason, don't know. They must be mates backstage. I guess
very
I don't know.
very confusing tag match came out.
Well, it was a six-man, wasn't it? So it
It was
was
it was a six man, but what I mean by that is what I like in tag team wrestling, which is what Atan Down Under are doing now. They're both in the blue trunks. They've
yeah,
got all
matching.
great
Yeah,
silver and blue matching. But then you have Carmelo Hayes, who's wearing these green like trousers, sort of thing,
yeah,
and the Street Profits, who came down wearing green trousers.
yeah. I
Like
know.
them three look like they should be a perfect trio
Yeah,
going out.
I think, yeah, but the thing is like, there's only so many colors in the spectrum, isn't there? So, you know, I don't know. And it's that kind of cookie cutter
Yeah,
um,
just
ring
throw
gear.
them together.
Like
Yeah,
when you're doing a create a wrestler in one of the 2K games, there's always the default generic trunks or trousers with the same design with the same logo that you can
yeah,
adjust the colors on. That's about it. Like, or at least that's what it reminds me of. Like No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000 on the 64. That's what it was. That's what it was.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, there is that. But but yeah, LA Knight and Street Profits went over Theory and Waller
yeah.
and Hayes, which is fine. This is a nothing show. Like it's,
Yeah.
it doesn't. There's not much going forward here. Video
Um,
package for Blair Davenport.
yeah, was again she sounds and looks great.
Yeah.
Everything about it because she just says like she's beat everyone, and when she comes up, she plans on basically doing the same. I can't wait to see her in the main roster. I think she's great. The only thing I don't like about Blair Davenport is how long her feckin' entrance is on Universe mode.
that is
But
that is
no, in terms of
unfortunate.
like talent and raw stuff, she's fantastic. And the like you say, the promo package right at the start, great way to introduce her for the fans that don't watch NXT. Because it was like I've beaten everyone, but then it showed her beating everyone. But the people that they picked out were like people are now used to on the main roster. Like, oh, so she's
Yeah,
beat her, so she's going to be good. It
yeah,
wasn't just like a random person from NXT. It was like, who the hell are you?
yeah. It was literally like, oh, you're different. Yeah. Um. So then we had let's see here. What
It's
Bailey
Cody and
versus
Logan.
oh,
It was Cody and Logan
it was
doing a
Cody and
promo on.
Logan. Okay,
Yeah.
fair
So
enough.
they had a face to face before their match basically, and Cody was like, I don't trust you, and this, that, and the other. And Logan's like, no. I've signed the thing. Look, I get because there was the press conference was also the Friday,
Oh,
and
okay.
during that, Logan Paul basically gave the brass knuckles to Michael Cole and went, "You look
Oh
after
yeah,
them."
I remember that. Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I don't want them. And then so Cody goes, "Look, I don't trust you. I've you've you've never won a match clean. Basically, is what
yeah,
Cody's saying."
yeah,
And then he goes, and Logan's like, "No, I swear I've not got anything. Michael Cole has them. We're just gonna have a fight. That'll be it." And then he goes, "Well, you know what?" Cody just goes, "You know what? We've got a ref here. Come in and frisk him." So like it's the start of a match, frisk him. So the ref gets in, and Logan goes, No, don't you touch me. I'll check him first. He wants this. How do I know he's not hiding something? He's waiting for you to give him the all clear.
yeah,
Like typical, like great heel work from Logan.
yeah, yeah,
And then so the ref like pats down Cody. He's completely fine. So he goes, "All right, fine. You can search me." So the ref searches Logan, and then stops on the trousers because he's wearing cargo like trousers with loads of fucking hundreds of pockets on. And he just stops and looks up and like does the face like he knows he's found something.
yeah.
And he pulls out another pair of brass knuckles. And Logan just goes, "I don't know how they got there. These are my brother's pants," which was right because they looked like they had no place in the ring. Hey, don't come at me, Jake fans. Um, but it was so funny the way he's like, "No, these are my brother's pants. I don't know how they got there.
Right.
They could have been anyone's." So Cody just like basically they have another like mouth like face off, and Logan basically just tries to flee and
Yeah.
before the match. But it was great. Both of them are good on the microphone. Both of them were getting the crowd going in their own way. Like Cody on the good side. Logan's just. I say this every podcast, every time he's on. He is just like annoyingly the perfect wrestler.
Yeah.
Because he's great in the ring, he's great on the microphone, and he's just got natural like heel charisma.
Yeah.
It's
He does. It's frustrating.
yeah. So, but it was it was actually one promo that I enjoy, and I think that SmackDown does it well in the fact that they open with matches, they don't open with this long promo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good that they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good, and then yeah, that's all that happened in that one. It was only short. It was about 3 minutes, but it was just like a bit of fun in the ring to say that Logan, just because he's given the knuckles away, there is a chance that he's going to have them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they need to do something about that. Otherwise, it's going to start getting very, very boring. Because it's going to become a thing that he gets sort of, known for, and which it's one thing like when he's a bad guy, but as soon, eventually one day, they might turn him face. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen.
Gonna take a bloody miracle to turn him face,
Yeah,
because
I
even though
know.
he's this good, there's still people who are like, that's Logan Paul. I don't want him anywhere near wrestling.
Yeah.
Even though he's arguably top 5 wrestlers at the minute in that company with just how good he is in ring.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Well, after that, we had Bailey versus Chelsea Green in a non-title bout because they just needed something to fill the gap, I suppose.
I think it wasn't so much filling the gap. I feel this match was done for the after match or the post match, because it's as you would expect. It's Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea does get some offense in. It's very little, but there's some there. Before Bailey just picks up the win, but then as Bailey's like celebrating the win, she just gets absolutely flattened by Piper Niven.
Yeah.
And then we get the tears that everyone in the UK was expecting for, or was wanting, because it was until we clash again. She grabbed a microphone and said that, and everyone in the UK, there was a Mexican wave of marks getting aroused when she said that. When the Scottish lass said, "Until we clash again."
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's going to be good. That's going to be really, really good. I don't think. We'll save that for the predictions.
Imagine the swivel when Piper Niven wins and Drew loses.
Well, we haven't got long. We haven't got long before we get to see that.
They come thick and fast.
Yeah. It's good. It's good though. It's good. So yes, we're gonna move on quickly.
Yep, we've got one more match on SmackDown.
Yeah, and it was it was the other semi-final match for the King of the Ring. Was Tama Tonga versus Randall Keith Orton.
Yeah.
Orton wins, of course.
Yep. Before the match, he reminds the Bloodline that he's going to remind them of why there are the 3 deadliest words in sports entertainment or professional wrestling. I can't remember what words he used now.
Probably professional wrestling, if you can call it that.
And they said RKO.
Yeah. Yeah. Good promo.
Yeah. It was a good match. It's a good match. Tama Tonga looks good. The right person obviously won this match because it was too early for Tama Tonga to get through, although I predicted wrong here, and we'll get to what happened in the actual event because the person I picked in that was still okay. But it was a bit of almost like a lapse in the Bloodline 2.0, which I think it needed, because since they've come on, it almost looks like they've just been like this perfect unit, and because they're brand new, I feel like there should be this sort of like teething process almost, like where stuff goes wrong, and it was like a miscommunication. And then if you're going to have a miscommunication and have the Bloodline lose, this is the perfect person to do it from, because obviously we all know that RKO comes out of anywhere.
Yeah definitely. But yeah, it was a good win. Good, pretty much a straight on match. Clean victory. There was no interference from the rest of the Bloodline.
Yep.
Tongalo was unable to travel for legal reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a naughty boy before.
Yeah, they had an issue with his visa or something like that, they said. I can't remember what the actual words were that they said. It was something about like his visa issues or something like that. But and then it's just like insert the meme of people who know, people who don't know.
People who don't know, yeah. And apparently the entrance was really good as well.
Yeah, it was. And then after the match, you obviously get Solo tries to get in when Tama's lost to have a 2-on-1 attack on Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And then we get arguably pop of the night when KO's music hit and rang out around the building.
Yeah. He's not done with the he's not done with the bloodline yet.
That story's going to rumble on. That'll rumble on. I think we might even get a rematch maybe at SummerSlam if there's nothing for them to do.
Maybe, yeah.
You might get Bloodline versus KO and Randy again.
Maybe. Although that's going to start getting stale very quickly as well.
Yeah. I think it's just a way, because obviously they've started on them, so I don't know, it's just weird, because like you say, there's no... A lot of these Bloodline feuds don't have finishes. It's just, we've picked on this guy, that's it, it's just... It's real that we'll pick on the next guy now.
Yeah, it just kind of keeps rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the end of SmackDown. We roll straight into King of the Ring. Or King and Queen of the Ring, yeah. So, there was a bit... So, just to... just so that we're clear, okay?
And... No,
it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Thanks to the kickoff show.
It does not count. I was away in a foreign country and I was not able to realise that there was a kickoff match. And it was the Women's Tag Team Championship, because legitimately forgetting about those things is easily done. The WWE seemed to do it quite a bit. So we had Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair as the holders versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, and I could have predicted this in my sleep.
I can't believe you picked Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't. You did. You picked it for me, which I think is basically the brass knuckles of the of this of the whole prediction. So, champion's advantage and everything. We'll just go through the card as per normal. So yeah, in the kickoff or the countdown now, they call it the countdown to the main event. We had the aforementioned match. I didn't know it was happening. I don't think anyone did until the day of, I think.
It was announced on SmackDown, which is why I put the tweet out just after. But it was weird. It was a graphic showed up off the match. So I was watching it at work, I think it was.
Right.
It was obviously in Saudi, the SmackDown, so it started at 6 o'clock. So I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize it's on. So I put it on. And then at the corner of my eye, I seen this graphic, and I was like, all right, is that tomorrow? Didn't mention it. No one mentioned anything about that match on the show.
Wow.
And then it wasn't until the day after they went, oh, this has been announced on social media or at the media scrum that this match has taken place. I was like, well, someone fucked up on SmackDown.
Yeah. No one said anything about this. Like, do you think maybe that they were going to wait until last minute to cut it if they needed to?
Possibly. I don't know. Unless it was meant to be announced at the press conference as like we've got another match. Another title match sort of thing, but someone made a mistake and put the graphic on SmackDown.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know. I don't know which way it was.
No, okay, well, it was a tag team match. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus Bianca Belair and Nia Jax.
Really good match.
No, not Nia Jax, sorry. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Sorry, I don't know why I said Nia Jax, sorry.
Really good match for the kickoff. All four women were great here.
Right.
Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill came out dressed like the Pink Power Ranger.
Nice.
Indy and Candice LeRae were black like their souls.
Okie doke.
But it was because it wasn't as one-sided as you'd expect this match to be.
Right.
It started off and Bianca was in the ring, and obviously the night before on SmackDown, she lost the match to Nia by her leg buckling out trying to do the KOD.
Right.
And then, so Indy and Candice LeRae basically just old school wrestling, worked on the knee.
Target the knee, yeah.
Target the knee, break it down. Every time Bianca went to make a tag, they dragged her to their corner of the ring. Tags, or well, not hot tags, like quick tags constantly between the two, keeping the knee down.
Yeah. So a
And,
classic tag team wrestling.
yeah, so for the opening, like I'd say because the match actually went on a lot longer than people were probably expecting this match to, and I'd say for a good like 5 minutes it was all Candice and Indy Hartwell, and I'm sat there going, "Don't, for the love of God, don't," because if he wins this, he'll say that was a genuine prediction. But no, the hot tag come in and they finally got a double finishing move. Jade
Okay.
and it looks really. I have no idea what it's called, but it looks very impressive.
Okay.
Up until the end, which I did tweet about. And if you are someone that follows our Twitter, I apologise. I was tweeting like a madman, but some of them were gold.
Okay. I've had to avoid them for spoilers until I watched it, or watched most of it anyway.
So Bianca tried to do a kip up at the end after doing their signature move, but not Bianca, sorry, Jade tried to do one, but Bianca was trying to make the cover, so she just shoved Jade, so Jade just fell, just flopped across the ring, just shoved her out the way.
Oh no!
So that was the only time that something bad happened in this match, but it was a great match to open up the show.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, so it was as predicted. Well, as predicted by me, that the tag women's, the Bianca and Jade, carried on winning.
Okay.
Your girls sadly got pinned.
I did not pick anyone. You let that shit go. I didn't even know it was happening. So then we had the Women's World Championship match. We had Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. You predicted this one correctly. I did.
No, I predicted this wrong. This is the one I got wrong and you got right.
No,
you said Liv was going to win this one, yeah, and I said Becky was going to retain. Because I said that with Becky's contract running down, that they'd try and get her to win.
Right.
And it was the men's King of the Ring that we'll get to that you predicted the other way.
Yeah, I did. Okay. But yeah, I think this makes sense for Becky to get a nice big Saudi payday, and then she can have a nice break.
She is now officially a free agent. Saturday and Sunday, her contract's done, and there's no sort of whispers to say that she's agreed a new one with WWE yet. So we could see Becky Lynch on AEW for all we know. She's completely a free agent come Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't see it happening, but she has tweeted out that I'm coming home with a photo of Seth and the baby. So I think she is done for a bit. I don't think we're going to see Becky Lynch for a while. Maybe they'll keep the contracts under wraps and like hush hush, and then bring her out at like SummerSlam or something as a big surprise return sort of pop when something goes wrong, or maybe even the events after that.
I was going to say I think SummerSlam is too soon. I think they're going to let her go home for a number of months.
It's just weird that we obviously don't get another Brit in Clash of the Castle, but it's what happens.
Maybe part of the whole tweet of I'm going home, because I don't know where they live, and I'm not saying that for people to be like, oh, well, no, like, no. What I mean is like maybe she means home as in Ireland, and therefore Glasgow's just across the water there. I don't know. There could be multiple meanings to that, but it's like no, she's going home to her family.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Damian Priest tweeted, and his words were, what, in exclamation mark, question mark, from bad to worse, shake my head.
Yeah. This is because before the match started, we had backstage where Liv was talking to Adam, and all of a sudden she just stops talking and looks up and she just goes, what are you doing here? And the camera cuts back and it's Dom.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm here because I'm not letting you take Mammy's belt, basically. And so that's how the match sort of starts. Obviously, we spoke about this earlier, the attire that the women have to wear in Saudi.
Yeah.
I mean, Becky went out there looking like she was from Peaky Blinders, and Liv went out dressed as Britney Spears, so...
I mean, yeah.
But again, I think that this was probably my second favourite match of the night, I think. the finish was a bit weird. You sort of, because part of it didn't make sense, because obviously Dom was sort of like, we got the backstage from her. I was like, I'm going to make sure you don't win this belt. And at the time that everything was happening, was Becky was on top. Becky was well on top of this match.
Yeah.
She had Liv in the disarmer, and then Dom appears by coming out of the timekeeper's area, and that somehow made Becky release the hold to question Dom on why he's out there, instead of just like wrenching the arm back and getting the the submission.
Yeah.
It made no sense in terms of why Becky would suddenly stop because she's seen Dom. Because like for obviously the issues between Liv and Dom, so if Liv was doing a move and Dom came out, understandable if Liv went, "What are you doing here?" and sort of like got annoyed. But Becky suddenly just looks like an idiot for just breaking this hold.
Well, well, one thing we can agree on is that intelligence does not seem to run well in the WWE.
Yeah.
Or logic doesn't.
Yeah. So then, Becky then like basically gets off and goes, "What are you doing out here?" sort of thing to Dom. Yeah. Again, just out of context. There's no storyline there.
No.
So then Dom just gets a steel chair and goes, slides it in the ring and goes, "Use this!" And then he runs around to distract the ref, and Liv just does an absolute monster like DDT, or I don't know if it's an Oblivion because it wasn't off the ropes.
Right.
So maybe it is. Oh no, it was just a DDT. I think it was onto the chair.
Yeah.
Just DDT onto the chair, but Becky sells the chair shot to the head like insane. It doesn't look like she protects her head, like she literally just goes down. And then she gets up and just hits them with the Oblivion, and then the ref turns around and Liv's got the cover on to get the 1, 2, 3, and complete her Liv Morgan revenge tour.
Yep.
Or so we think. Maybe we don't. We don't know what else she's got on the revenge tour. There's more to come on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So Liv Morgan walks out of Saudi Arabia as the new women's heavyweight champion. It's interesting.
I put out a tweet at the time, and it'll be interesting to get your thoughts on this.
Right.
Because I said, if this was always going to be the plan, why did Liv not just win the Battle Royal? Why did it have to be put onto Becky Lynch to hold it for like 2-3 weeks before dropping it to Liv Morgan straight away? Right. I've seen a few people agree with me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. So a few people did agree, but I wanted to just hear what you think. Like, do you make the right call by giving it to Becky Lynch to have Liv win here, or?
No, I think Liv Morgan should have definitely been at the top. Like, she should have won the Battle Royal. In my opinion, I don't understand if they were going to do this, especially at this show as well. Like, I know I crap on it a little bit, but that's just because alignments and stuff. But
the only thing I can think of, which I didn't think of at the time, but now that I've like sat here, and it's actually just dawned on me now that I'm sat with you, is the fact that we obviously know that Saudi Arabia can request strange things.
Yeah.
Like bringing back the dead.
Yeah.
They want necromancy on most shows. So maybe they'd like said to WWE, we want a title change. And WWE had to go, fuck.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, which one? Like, I mean, to be fair, they had the choice to do another, but, that's what we're just about to get to. I mean, yeah, it could have been a request. It's not like it didn't make sense, but if they knew Becky was like going away now for a while, it wouldn't have hurt to let them to make this the change. But maybe we don't know. I just know that when they asked for all the weird stuff, like that was probably. That was a few years ago now, and I think things are different. I think they're being told like, no, you're going to get a show, but we're going to continue our stories and stuff so that it makes it seem worthwhile. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
So then we had the triple threat. for the Intercontinental Championship.
This went from match of the night to the shittest match on the card, and that is probably an unpopular opinion, but the finish of this match was terrible.
Okie doke. I don't know. I think like this was just a nice exhibition match. I think we both called this correctly, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, there was no way that they were going to allow that.
Another one of my banging tweets went out at this point. Let me just get it up for you, because I ran a poll. I was running polls through the night, so if you want to take part in the polls, follow us on Twitter or X for when there's shows that are of a normal time.
Yeah.
So I sent out a tweet just before this match started saying, who is taking the fall in this match? Bronson, or also Bronson, but down here instead, which got 100% of the vote. So...
Yeah. We kind of knew it was going to be Bronson retaking the fall, wasn't it? So, because Chad Gable's got this thing going on where he's slowly becoming an ultra heel.
Yeah. And he got the "You Suck" chants from the Saudi crowd, which don't go over the Alpha Academy's music very well.
No, because it doesn't. Yeah, the music's not the same. It's similar, but it's not the same. But Sami Zayn got pop of the night, I would say.
Yeah, they love him there, which is weird considering his tentative relationship and not wanting to go to Saudi Arabia in the past because of religious beliefs or where he's from originally and stuff like that.
I think it was more ideology. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it because I really have no idea. But I just know that he wasn't.
Tweet and I can't remember what it said exactly.
Yeah,
it was like someone from Sammy's background getting a pop like this in Saudi Arabia has to be like one of the things that just means like shows how WWE can bring people together.
Yeah.
Because they were sort of saying, like, they didn't go into it, and I didn't want to look into it because I don't care. It's like, as harsh as that sounds, as long as they're not being dicks to each other, I don't care. So, but someone was like, for this was like just an insane pop for Sami Zayn in a place which normally would hate him for whatever reason.
Right.
There was a few things wrong with this match for me. One of them was funny, but still a bit weird. Because, like, Chad Gable comes out first, and then just stands at the foot of the ring, goes, "Now remember, Otis, as we planned, when I give you the signal, do it." But, like, he's shouting that, and there's a camera in his face.
Yeah, I know.
Which means that Sami Zayn stood behind that curtain going, I should probably pay attention to this.
But you know for a fact that they're not, better than I do, that they're not watching the cameras in Gorilla. They're busy getting themselves all psyched out, and
But that was just funny. That wasn't the mistake. But the thing I hated most about this match, because the match itself is fantastic. There was some great moves because the three people involved in this match are great wrestlers. But the thing that makes no sense for me, and again, I put out a tweet about this at the time, is that Bronson Reed rolls to the outside, and Otis just flattens him with a clothesline. Just absolutely flattens Bronson Reed.
Mm-hmm.
So then, Chad chucks Sammy out and goes, "Hit him," and Otis won't. So Chad rolls out, beats down Sami Zayn, picks up Sami Zayn, and goes, "Now Otis, do it," and like is holding Sami Zayn back. So Otis goes back. He's like arguing with himself. Then does a run up and just stops right in front, like little Jimmy's just grabbed his arm and stopped him from doing it. And then
little Jimmy.
So Chad then goes back to beating Sami Zayn, and then chucks him to the floor again. Goes over to Otis and basically doesn't slap him, but like starts pushing Otis and going, "What did I tell you? Do it when I give you the sign. Do it. Hit him." And then so he grabs Sami Zayn again. And then Otis again goes to wind up, looks like he's not going to do it, and Chad's like screaming at him. And then Otis goes to clothesline Sammy, and he just moves out the way, so Otis flattens Chad Gable.
Yeah, of course.
Sammy then rolls in the ring, and somehow, and this is the part that makes no fucking logical sense that I could ever see, is that one clothesline on the outside took Bronson Reed out for 5 whole minutes while that was happening. But not only that, he got clotheslined by the announce table
into the
and
ring.
then was perfectly set up in the corner for the haluva kick that ended the match. So that clothesline wiped him out around the ring, back into it, up on so he was getting up. It made no sense. It was such a bollocks finish to a good match.
Yeah, like I said, logic does not exist in the WWE universe.
Like, JBL has lost his crown. His is the clothesline of feathers now. Otis has got the clothesline from hell. Because if that clothesline wipes a man out for 5 whole minutes and can teleport him across space and time to that corner, there is something hellacious about that clothesline from Otis.
It wouldn't have taken much for Chad Gable to grab Bronson Reed and just roll him in the ring near the thing. So, like, while all the stuff with Chad and Sammy's going on, like, Bronson Reed's like, he's like, climbing up the ropes, like, pulling himself up. Like, that's more believable because then when Sammy gets in the ring and Bronson Reed's sort of in the corner, like, trying to come round, and then he just gets the haluva kick, it's like, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the thing is we cannot put WWE and the words make sense together. We cannot. They just don't go together. So, but Sami Zayn retained. Then we had the Queen of the Ring final.
Oh, this finish to this match was chef's kiss. This is beautiful. I'll let you talk about the match first, but the finish is I was aroused.
We had Lyra Valkyrie and Nia Jax going for the crown in the Women's Queen of the Ring tournament. It was a very David and Goliath style match, and with all credit to Nia Jax, obviously when they were coming up with how they were going to do the match, she let Lyra Valkyrie get in a lot of offense, make herself look really, really viable as a opponent, which is good.
Yep.
Because she's literally got called up from NXT and just zoomed almost straight to the top of one of the big one of the pay-per-views, which hasn't been seen for a while.
No.
Normally call-ups take a bit of a slow burn, but this is she's been catapulted almost to the top of her own division.
You can see that quite a lot these days. You've got Lyra Valkyrie or Valkyria. I still think Valkyrie sounds better, but Valkyria is apparently the Irish birds that flew over battlefields that could turn themselves into ravens. We got told that during her entrance, which, by the way, was fantastic with the big raven wings. However, back to my main point. We now also get Carmelo Hayes as being shot straight up into big feuds with big name people.
LA Knight and so on.
Bron Breakker, LA Knight, that's who's funeral. Bron Breakker's come in and just decided, you know what, feck it, I'm a Steiner now. I'm destroying the place.
Yeah.
And being propelled.
Yep.
I'm gonna get her on the show because my Tiffy is Tiffy time is shot straight up and is having great matches going for the women's title.
No, she has.
So there's quite a lot from NXT now that are just like coming up and going, there you go, there's the main scene, off you pop.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to see. I think it shows how good NXT is doing again because it went from black and gold to shit to very good again.
to crayon vomit.
Yeah.
To crayon vomit back to black and gold style booking with the crayon, backdrop.
Scheme, yeah.
Crayon color scheme, but black and gold booking, which is great.
But back to the actual match. Lyra Valkyrie got so much offense in this.
Yeah.
And we got the spot. We got the spot from Nia again where she misses on the ring apron, and the camera panned right in for her to shout "my hole," but she didn't. She just went, "Oh, that hurt." There was no "my hole" this time.
No, that's the thing that I like that now, that they're like, even in a match that's like super serious for a serious thing, they're like, if it can be funny and people can have a bit of a giggle, do it. And I was very much for that. I think that's brilliant. very
Yeah.
much so. So you wanted to talk about the finish. I think I saw this, and if it is, it looks absolutely destructive. It looks so
Yeah.
painful.
So Lara gets some offense back, and this is at and she then goes to the top rope, and Nia Jax meets her on the top rope, and everyone's thinking, "Oh God, this can only end badly." And instead of what you then get, Lara Valkyrie shuffles over the top of Nia Jax
For a
and
sunset
then
flip, yeah.
yeah, but as she gets over the top, everyone suddenly goes, "Oh God!" Especially if it being Nia Jax, because
Yeah.
some people, not me, because I think Nia Jax has been insane since she come back.
Yes.
But some people are still like, no, she was someone that hurt people. We must not like her and say she's good at anything she does.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh God, she's going to drop Lyra here, because it did look like Lyra had gone too far for a certain move, because no one knew what was happening at the time. But Lyra wriggles her way down the back, flips over like for a sunset flip, but can't do it.
Right.
So then she goes underneath and basically tries to power slam Nia, but Nia's clinging onto the top rope,
Yeah.
and she can't like get Nia off the ground. So then she goes again, and then as she goes for the third time, Nia just follows her down with her, what's it called, where she like just sits on people. I can't remember what it's. Is it the Annihilator or whatever?
Yeah, she calls it the Annihilator, but it's basically the bonsai
It's
drop.
Bonsai, yeah, it's the bonsai drop, but I know
Yeah.
she had a name for it. Yeah, it's the Annihilator.
Yeah, the Annihilator.
But this is where I want to say that if you have any sort of like ill judgment towards Nia Jax, this is the spot that you need to wipe that out of your head.
Yeah.
Because this is the moment that could have gone so wrong in so many ways. Because if she's a few inches too high, she's crushing Lyra's windpipe.
Yeah.
If she goes a bit further than that, she's landing on her head.
Yeah.
And that is like asphyxiation of the weirdest and kinkiest way, when Nia Jax is just sitting on your face. If she goes too low, it's like literally, if she catches the bottom ribs, it's a broken rib or two.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that this move went from like trying to be a power slam to Lyra running out trying to like get momentum to pull it and then chucking herself backwards, for Nia to land perfectly on the chest with the Annihilator, was chef's kiss. It was finish of the night.
So do we know? Yeah. So Nia Jax is now Queen of the Ring. Do we know what that gives her now? Like, did they announce that?
Triple H in the press conference announced that the winner of King and Queen of the Ring get a title shot of the main title shot of their choice at SummerSlam.
Right. Cool. Okay. So it means something now. That's really good. It's a bit like a mini Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Money in the Bank, but it's set in stone when you've got your title match.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So then, following that final, we then had the final of the men's King of the Ring, which was Randy Orton versus Gunther.
Yes. Two great men, two great athletes. One that's going to carry the company for the next 10 years against someone that has carried the company for the last 10 years. So
yeah,
it was almost
absolutely.
like a passing of the torch match. This.
Yeah, it looked amazing.
Yeah. The only again, this was another great tweet by me, if I do say so myself. I gave my one and only shithousery award of the evening for this match, because if you count from when Randy Orton's song first hit to when the match started, it was 6.5 minutes long of him walking to the ring, posing, letting the crowd sing along with his song that the French have started. And then what does Randy Orton do as soon as the match starts? Rest hold. So I just put Randy Orton taking like 10 minutes to walk to the ring to then apply a rest hold as a shithousery award.
Yeah. You have to ask yourself, could this be the last time he is in Saudi as an in-ring competitor, and that's why he took his time?
I don't know, because they're back in November, aren't they? They've got Crown Jewel. They go twice a year now to Saudi.
Yeah, but... yeah, okay. He might be making the most of everything.
He might be. Yeah, he's probably... I think he's just enjoying it because he's had that theme for so long.
Yeah.
And what the people in Leon did when they just started singing along, he's never had that before. In what? He must have had voices for...
He's had it since 2012 at least.
Yeah.
Before that as well, but
It's like
definitely
12.
since 2012.
So maybe 15 years he's had that.
Yeah,
'Cause yeah. So because it was Legacy before then, wasn't it?
something like that. Yeah, well,
And,
Burning My Light,
yeah.
which was also a great theme.
Yeah. So I think that in that time he's never had people like sing along.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I give some credit to AEW for that because their fans do that all the time. Like Chris
Yeah.
Jericho's song.
Yeah.
I know John Moxley's using not Living on a Prayer. What is it? Like a Prayer. That's what he uses as intro now.
Okay.
And he comes through the crowd, so the crowd just sing that. So a lot of AEW do have like sort of sing along entrances.
Right.
And I feel like that's probably what a lot of Leon seen, and they just went, "Yeah, let's sing voices."
Yeah, it's not a hard song to sing either. The lyrics are pretty straightforward.
I may have been in a weird mood at the time because I tweeted out saying that, "Don't worry, Def Rebel. I'm sure a crowd will get behind one of your songs and sing along one day." Maybe.
Oh shit! I mean, Trick Williams' music is a fucking banger. I will say that. I will just put that in there. That is very high on my playlists.
Yeah, but this match was great. It was hard hitting. There was slaps that Randy sold like an absolute champion. I feel like Randy's underrated as a seller. People don't realize how good of a seller Randy Orton is.
Yeah.
And he was so good at selling the chops and stuff like that. And then obviously Gunter can still sell as well. His knee gave out, and then he took a power slam, and then we get the finish, the finish of the match, which was WWE decided to go for a finish, which was Randy Orton's shoulder was about the same distance off the mat as America is to Saudi Arabia.
It was. I didn't. So I just for disclosure, I was at a wedding when this was taking place. So I wasn't watching, but I was seeing a lot of people posting pictures and stuff. And then when I finally got around to see the highlights a couple of days later, I then saw the tweet where they showed that Orton's shoulders were not on the mat for the count. Now, they have said that aside from Corey Graves mentioning it fairly briefly, nothing more has been said about it, except for Triple H obviously being asked about it at the press
he
conference.
said they were going to watch replays or something like that.
Yeah, so I think we're going to get a triple threat at SummerSlam. I think we're going to get Gunther, Randy Orton, and whoever champion is at the time. Probably Drew McIntyre if I have my way. But
did you see the thing that people have gone? We hope it's just like them having like Triple H is obviously smart, and when you book a match in advance, you have to book who's currently got the belt.
Yeah.
But instead of saying like Jey Uso is going to go for the title on a show, they put the SmackDown after Clash at the Castle. The main event is Damian Priest versus Jey Uso for the heavyweight championship.
Oh, okay.
So everyone was like, "No, don't do it 2 times in a row to Drew. Don't let him lose." Because last time it was in Wales and you got boos. If he loses in Glasgow or Glasgow, as they were saying, because that
Glasgow,
was
no, it's Glasgow. It's straight up Glasgow. Glasgow.
If he loses there, oh God, oh dear, there's no amount of singing American Pie that's going to save WWE from the riot that's going to kick off.
No, there isn't. It's going to be awful. They've got to. Something of substance has to happen at Clash at the Castle in Glasgow. It has to. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're moving away from that. So that is that's the King and Queen of the Ring done. Then we have the most predictable match on the card, although a really amazing uh, spot fest, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, Logan Paul versus
Logan Paul,
Cody
yeah.
Rhodes
Logan Paul
for
is
the
just,
Undisputed.
he's too damn good. He is. Like, when he first signed, I was like, I want to hate this man for everything he's done on YouTube and stuff like that. And I love him. I want to see more Logan Paul. He's so good. We should point out as well that with Logan Paul being in this match,
Yeah.
there was a deal signed which said that there was going to be a big Prime logo in the center of the ring for every PLE moving forward. And there wasn't one in Saudi Arabia.
Probably because you can't get Prime over there.
Possibly, but it's a weird one. I'm guessing WWE must have gone, look, we can't do it for legal reasons, even though, because technically are they not, unless it was, obviously it's probably been thrashed out in the contract before, but if they've signed a contract with Prime in both Logan Paul and KSI, I'd say your name will be on our product for every PLE, and then they've suddenly gone, apart from this one and this one, then they're breaching a contract with Logan and KSI, which I'm not going to say that Logan and Paul would sue WWE because Logan's doing fantastic work and stuff, but I'm saying that they technically could if they've done it afterwards.
Yeah,
So,
I think there must have been something and I don't think Logan Paul would be in KSI.
He still came out drinking Prime. He still had.
Yeah,
he had all the shirts on wearing it.
Yeah, this is what I mean. I don't think for all we know, there was a cock up and they had to use a spare ring mat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know that Logan Paul wouldn't be that petty to just go and straight up sue them. There must have been some sort of discussion about why they couldn't have it.
Yeah.
Logan Paul probably was just like, well, I can hold a bottle of it and I can wear a t-shirt, right? And they're like, yeah, sure. And he was like, all right, fine.
Yeah. But if we get back to the actual action, we said earlier on that Nia Jax, when she was planning the match with Lyra, let Lyra get a lot of offense in.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes gets absolutely flattened by Logan for the first part of this match.
Yep, takes the table spot and everything.
And it's not even like Logan cheated at the time. Logan legit was just beating Cody.
He was just out wrestling him. Yeah. Yep. Out wrestling him, everything.
Yeah. And then obviously we do get the spot where Logan goes to his, one of Logan's entourage basically says something about Cody Rhodes, and Cody goes full Brock Lesnar to Dom Mysterio and just drags him over the barrier and launches him across, turning heel in the process. He's just attacked the fan. But as he does that, Logan goes to his other member of his entourage who hands him his brass knuckles, and then we get one of the commentary lines of the night, which is Michael Cole going, "No, Logan, you signed a pre-knuck."
I heard that, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what are you saying, Michael Cole? That's funny though, a pre-knuck, yeah.
So then the ref goes to check on this this member of the crowd that's being dragged out from a seat, and as he does, Cody goes flying over the stairs and eats brass knuckles to the gut, and then but then we get a glorious moment where Michael Cole starts berating Logan Paul, and Logan does something that I'm surprised more. I think it's only really Bailey that has ever played into the commentary team, because obviously the wrestlers can hear them. It's not like they're immune.
Yeah.
And Logan just turns around and has a massive argument with Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Which I tweeted out saying, set it up for SummerSlam, Michael Cole versus Logan Paul.
And then Corey Graves takes his place and has his in-ring debut. His return.
People were saying if someone takes his place, it'll probably be Pat McAfee because they're best friends.
Oh, okay.
So, but I don't know. But yeah, it was like they were properly arguing. Corey Graves gets in the way to stop it and
I saw
pulls Logan away.
Yeah.
But it was so funny between the two of them, because Logan Paul's like, "I will rip your head off."
Yeah,
which is probably really which is probably not something you want to say in Saudi Arabia, because it tends to happen. But because of all this, Cody then dives out the ring and takes the victory that basically gets on top of it. However, there is one moment that we need to talk about in this match, more than the finish, more than the brass knuckles, and it is the camera work for Logan's frog splash
Yeah.
through the announce table because they must have had a drone. I'm assuming that's all it could have been, was a drone flying around the arena.
Or one of the cameras on a wire that they can control.
It just didn't make sense how it could go right the way around him. That's the thing that made me think it's a drone, because it was almost like a 360 shot flying around Logan.
Yeah.
Before and then it went up above behind Logan, so you could see him do the frog splash.
Probably a drone.
If you haven't seen it, please, even if you don't like wrestling, watch that frog splash, because the camera work from whatever they did is insane.
Yeah.
And again, Cody sells it like a champ. I don't know. Like, I know they're trained, and they have trained many, many years to do what they do. But if someone, even because although Logan's a stick, he is built, he is muscly as hell, and he is jumping from a turnbuckle. Now, if you're lying on a plank of wood and you see someone jump from that height, how do you not react to try and cover yourself and protect yourself in some way, shape, or form? They have so much faith in the people they work with that go, he's going to make this safe for me and take most of this impact.
Yeah.
I would be shitting my pants if I see... I'd either have to close my eyes if I didn't know it was coming, or I'd be like, they'd just be bothered. I'm sure my, like instincts would just kick in, and I'd be like, no, I've got to protect myself. This is going to hurt.
Yeah, you would, yeah. I don't know. I can't... I'm like, how? How do they do it, you know?
Because like moves like that, obviously Cody's having to watch him go from a turnbuckle, who he's already lower than the ring, so it's higher than he normally would from like a turnbuckle spot.
Yeah.
And he's on a table with no protection underneath that table for when they go crashing through it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't move. But then you see other people, like, for years and years, there were like Mark Henry. He was just running, doing like the world's strongest splash and all that. I just fucking like, you've got someone the size of Mark Henry, even from a standing position, just going, oh well, I'm leaping on you now. I would not be able to just sit there like.
No. You would flinch. You'd flinch hard. Yeah. It was well done. It was well done. Very, very good.
Well, very predictable.
So what was the finish?
The finish it's weird. It's weird because not only did Cody attack a fan, he couldn't beat Logan fair, because Logan goes for a pin, and then all of a sudden the special guest ring announcer, who I can't remember what his name is, I'm guessing he's some sort of celebrity in Saudi Arabia.
He is. He's an actor and comedian.
He drags Logan Paul out, or the referee out of the ring. I can't remember which one he grabs, but he grabs them and pulls them away. And then, he must have grabbed the ref, or maybe he just grabs the legs of Logan, because Logan basically kicks out and turns around to him and just swearing. The PG error's gone. It's dead and gone, because Logan goes, "Who the hell are you? Who even are you?"
Wasn't it he was going to go for the brass knuckles again?
Maybe it was,
and the guy snatched the knuckles off of him.
Yeah, he grabs him anyway, and Logan just turns around and goes, "Who the hell are you?" Like, screaming at this guy that's like a massive celebrity in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
He just keeps screaming at him, like, "Who the hell are you?" And then turns around, and you just see Cody. The camera just cuts to Cody. He goes, "I'm Cody Rhodes, bitch!" And he just hits a Crossroads, and then just holds it and hits it for the trifecta of Crossroads.
Yeah.
To pin Logan Paul.
Yeah, I did see that.
It's just the way he just screams, "I'm Cody Rhodes,
I'm
bitch."
Cody Rhodes, bitch. I'm Rick James, bitch. yeah, that's funny. I love that. So that was King of the Ring. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, for a Saudi show, it was good. The only thing I will say, and it's the last of my tweets. Well, it's not the last. You can see I put loads of them out. I was spamming Twitter. But two things I put to end that show with.
Yeah.
One, the first two rows of that crowd were fucking awful. They were.
Well, they're all
dead.
guests, yeah.
They were dead. No, I don't even think they were guests, because there was just like kids and stuff, and they just didn't look interested. They were glued to their phone. One of them had an iPad,
yeah,
and stuff like that, and they were just looking down. It was almost like they were just like the rich kids that got, "Oh, can we go to this event? Yes, here's my money to show how rich I am.
Yeah.
Go have the front row. They've never watched wrestling because there was no interest whatsoever in that match.
That's what I mean. They were
And
guests. They didn't
when
pay
you get
to.
to like when you get to the third row, they were up, they were jumping, there was everything, lights going and all sorts.
Yeah.
So yeah, the front row just absolutely fucking ruined it.
Well, they probably.
And then you feel sorry for them as well, because obviously we're not going to get too much into it because I said I wouldn't. But the harsh laws of Saudi Arabia meant that when the camera was like cutting through, there was a bunch of women on the front row, and they had to they were trying to cover their face and hide, and they wouldn't like be on camera, like they're not allowed to be there or something like that.
Right.
It was just like it made it look so awkward. But the cameraman didn't seem to get the hint, and I thought that someone maybe in Gorilla would have like either switched it or said in his ears, move on, this isn't right or fair or something like that. Because he basically held it on them for a long time, and then suddenly went, oh shit, and lifted the camera up and got like the third and fourth row.
Yeah.
So there was stuff like that which just made it look a bit really weird. And then, in fact, no, there's actually a few more things I want to talk about. One, there was a guy at the front row when Cody Rhodes made his entrance that if he was on the Titanic, Jack would have never fucking drowned, because he clung to Cody Rhodes and that belt. He held on for dear life during his entrance. That was another one of my tweets. Check out the Twitter. I also said that I'd seen Logan Paul's gear somewhere else before, and I said that I really want a dream match through a forbidden door of Logan Paul and Will Ospreay.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you could give them a 10-star match. They would go.
Yeah, that would be pretty special, wouldn't it?
I was like, that's the one match. Everyone was like, what would be a dream match for AEW and WWE? And everyone was like, put on matches that they'd already seen before. And I was like, no, just Logan Paul and Will Ospreay. Give me that match, please. I want it so badly.
Yeah. I would like to see that too.
That's it. I will no more from that. Oh, in fact, no, one more thing, because we didn't touch on it during the Intercontinental Championship match. During Bronson Reed's entrance, there was a QR code that static appeared across the screen.
Ooh.
And it was the only thing we got, because everyone was expecting the Wyatt Six to debut at King and Queen of the Ring, because the QR code from the week previous had coordinates, and if you searched for the coordinates on Google Maps, it was Saudi Arabia, and everyone was like, oh my god, they're actually going to appear. So then the next thing, we get a QR code at Bronson, and everyone was probably like, oh, this might be saying like, are you ready to meet us, or something like that, something like weird that was going to happen. But then when people I scanned it and watched it, it was a guy playing WWE 2K24 in his hotel room. And then all of a sudden, there's like a knock behind him, so he spins around, and it's like just a glass window. And he's like, hello, is anyone there? Because it's like he's up, obviously on a high floor. And then the lights in the hotel room go dim. And as he spins around, there's just like a reflection of someone stood in the door. And it looks like Uncle Howdy, but he's got a different mask on. And then it's like a reflection in the door, and then all of a sudden the camera just drops. And then it just like says end transmission or something like that. And since then, there's also been another tweet that says something about 17th. So they reckon now the 17th is when they're going to make their debut.
Right.
17th of June.
Okay.
So that's the only other thing we did. That's the only Wyatt Six bit we got, was during Bronson Reed's entrance.
Right. Okay.
Now I'm definitely done with King Queen of the Ring. No more tangents.
Okay. Fine. That's okay.
People are going to come next week to like the next podcast, and you'll be like, hello, I'm hosting this podcast. They look at my camera, and I've just been strapped to a chair for gag.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. The Twitch thing for building up for the return of Uncle Howdy or whoever in some way, shape, or form. That was cool. That was very cool. It was creepy. It was horror-esque. It was awful as far as, being uncomfortable watching it goes. Very, very cool, though. Lots of hidden messages within. But yeah. We're getting to a point where we're kind of ready to to see it now. So. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking through the match card of Raw, and it definitely feels like a come down of sorts.
Yeah, this is the GM mode moment where you've gone, everyone's out of stamina, let's rest
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, everyone's flying back from Saudi Arabia, so let's just put who didn't go to the show.
You're going to a health spa this week. You've got a pre-match physio card because
you're cutting a promo. Yeah, you're cutting a promo. You're gonna try and get over. So yeah, so let's go from the top.
Yes, the first match was Mr. Higglesby versus McGurder.
yeah, word to McGurder. That's so funny. Yeah. Oh man, I miss those guys. I miss the jobbers. I do. Because I booked them into a really powerful position on my card. So, but yeah. So opening the show, as typical with Raw, we had a promo.
Yep.
And we had.
Priest.
Hey.
Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm.
It off.
Well, I thought Ludwig Kaiser introduced the new King of the Ring.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
So Ludwig starts off the show and does the whole ladies and gentlemen, and like fucking just absolute beautiful work that Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah.
The only person that could rival Samantha Irving for me is Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah. I don't know. Paul Heyman's pretty good too, but yeah.
Yeah, but he announces Gunter. Gunter's just doing great work as well.
Yeah. He straight away was like one of his potential opponents, Damian Priest.
Yeah.
He basically verbally shat on Damian Priest as a whole entity as well. But obviously, it's a bit like magic in the WWE. You speak the person's name who you want to feud with, and they appear. So Damian Priest just yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone's Beetlejuice. So Damian Priest hears his name being called, heads down to the ring. But then a very sour, very upset Drew McIntyre followed suit pretty quickly. Bit jealous, I think.
The thing is, he's meant to be a heel, but as he's done in the recent weeks, Drew McIntyre just makes sense. He's literally just talking the truth, and that's apparently making him a heel.
Well,
because he literally just says to Damian Priest, like, you're talking about you versus Gunter at SummerSlam. You should focus on the match at Clash at the Castle first against me.
Which is what he said. Which is what he said to Seth before WrestleMania. He said, "You're focusing too much on this bloodline thing. You should be worried about me." And look what happened. So I don't know. Maybe this is all part of the thing, and we are just missing it. Maybe we're seeing it, but maybe we're not getting it. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe Drew McIntyre is breaking that. So he is just doing whereas everyone else in the WWE is playing by the universe logic, he's playing by reality logic, and he's just like, whoa, you're talking about the future. You haven't even bothered with me yet,
Yeah.
So yeah. There was back and forth, and then Gunther exited the ring.
Jesus Christ, aliens.
Don't. Then we had Braun Strowman versus JD McDonough.
And JD McDonough, what? No, he didn't win. Just imagine if that's how that ended. And JD McDonough beat him clean. No, it was a squash match, glorified squash match. Poor JD McDonough, because where we said that some NXT stars get called up and get shoved straight into a main picture, JD McDonough's getting shoved straight into a bin. That's where he's gone.
Yeah. I mean, who booked this thinking? Yeah, this is a fair match.
I mean, it's not a fair match, but it's basically a setup to the main event, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But it's again, it's just a weird feud that they've gone. Braun's back. What should we do with him? Judgment Day, I guess. Just it's like they've gone how we got our roster in GM mode or universe mode.
Yeah, just spin a
Braun's
wheel.
back, spin the wheel.
Who's he facing this week?
Oh God, he's against. If we still got Hornswoggle here, that's a created star, right? Let's spin again.
Yeah, spin again.
JD McDonough, that's who he's got. We'll go against Judgment Day.
Yeah.
But haven't Judgment Day got the whole thing with Liv and Dom and yeah, but doesn't matter. Did he not help his friend Ricochet, who's being attacked by Braun Breaker? No, you're making sense. Just put him against Judgment Day, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I think they're just. I think if I'm reading between the lines here, they're just reminding people how dangerous he is. Like as like how dominating he can be.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's
reintroducing his character before they give him to the White Six.
Yeah, well, if he goes to the White Six, I don't know if he will.
How can he not?
Well, I don't, because if you look at the names that have been suggested, he's not one of them.
Yeah, this is true.
So
maybe.
I think maybe he. I still think he should, because obviously he's part of that Wyatt
It
legacy.
might come later. It might be. They might try and indoctrinate him.
But
and
I agree with what you're saying though. It's sort of like WWE don't want to pay the local talent to come in and get squashed, so they've just gone, let's give him to someone like JD. And it's
someone who hasn't got anything really going on at the moment. Yeah, that's fair. And neither of them were in Saudi, so
yeah.
So then there was a backstage segment. After that, Liv Morgan was being interviewed, which then basically promoted the match with her and Becky Lynch later in the card. Steel cage match, which is interesting. They haven't done that for a while.
Try and stop Dom from interfering.
That's right.
But would it work?
Oh,
tune in later.
You can tune in literally 5 minutes. Then we had Ricochet versus Ilya Dragunov for no reason whatsoever except for what occurred.
So there was some last week where Ricochet was talking to Ilya. It was like, maybe I need to be different. And everyone was thinking, so we're getting heel Ricochet for a bit, which is kind of nice.
It would be nice if he was a heel, yeah.
But then it was almost like WWE, and we've said this so many times, WWE have gone, right, okay, bang, let's go, Ilya Dragunov versus Ricochet. And then someone's gone, do we want Ricochet to lose this if he's just turned heel? No. Do we want Ilya Dragunov to lose this? No.
Yeah. So what do we do? Call in the Steiner. Because that's what happened. I don't know if you've seen the fan footage.
Him like creeping through the crowd.
Crawling along. I love that. I absolutely love that because one, although the security guard clearly was looking at him, he wasn't supposed to be there because he's been suspended. Remember.
Well, to be fair though, if you're that security guard, are you going to go, excuse me, sir, you can't be here?
No, not really. Not to a Steiner, no.
He's the type of person that if I walked in on him banging my wife, I would ask if he needed an extra pill and what he wanted for breakfast. I am not telling him to get out.
Oh, God. So with that lovely imagery in my head now, we had Ilya Dragunov, Ricochet having a bit of a match, but it very quickly it very quickly turned into Bron Breakker absolutely destroying Ricochet, who sold the spear like an absolute god, by the way. He did the inside out bump and everything, which was amazing. And then Dragunov, who got a few chops in, but Breakker no sells the chops, goes for his discus chop and dodges it and just spears him out of his boots too. And then I would say he was a bit over enthusiastic with his celebration, but I also quite like it because the only person that I can recall who had that level of intensity was name redacted. Sorry, no, it's not name redacted anymore. We can say his name is Brock Lesnar, and Goldberg before him. With that with the physicality that they're displaying, and then the sort of high, like Brock Lesnar would go as red as this Monday Night Raw background behind me.
Yeah.
And just lose. Just he would break his voice screaming, and I would laugh so much. But yeah, break and then but Adam Pearce was like, I was like, mate, what are you doing? He's standing like this close to Bron Breakker, and he's telling him that he's suspended and he's out of here and this, that, and the other, and he's gonna do this and he's gonna do that. And Bron Breakker literally just turns around to him, just like, mate, have you not just seen what I've done? Do you want to be involved? And then you can see Pierce like shit his pants. He literally fills his pants and then just sort of steps back for a moment, and then but they're getting Breakker over as a mega heel, which I suppose is.
Are they? I don't even know if they are, because the speed he hits the spear, the crowd are cheering. The speed, the power he's got. He's meant to be a heel, but the crowd, you can't help but just suddenly go, fuck me, he's amazing. He's amazing,
yeah. I mean, because the thing is I'm reading here, the reaction for Bron Breakker is interesting in that a portion of the audience barks along with him and appears to appreciate the unstoppable badass beating people up. However, the rest of the fans boo as expected. So he's getting a mixed reaction. I don't know. He's going to be
punting a baby like Snitsky did.
No. He's going to be Brock Lesnar-esque, where you want to hate him because you're supposed to because of his character, but you're just so impressed and like of everything that he does, you just can't not be impressed. You know what I mean? So, but yeah.
Yeah. So it was short. I think a lot of these matches were quite short. It felt weird because it's obviously a longer show, but it felt shorter, which is weird.
Yeah.
There was a lot of backstage segments and stuff like that, I suppose, that fluffed it out. But even like the next one we get onto, and this match I was torn. On. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, because you know me, I love Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain, so in one way I'm happy they won, but I also love the Creed brothers, and they've been getting nothing but defeats.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happening there.
I have a feeling I know.
Yeah, I do too. I do. I think we discussed this recently. I think we did. I think we think that we're going to get Team Angle 3.0.
Yeah.
With Gable leading the Creed brothers.
Yeah, I think
as the new Alpha Academy.
They started like teasing it a bit because
they did,
backstage, and I think when Otis eventually snaps and turns on them,
that's when, because then you're gonna have Tozawa and Otis versus the Creed brothers with Chad Gable in their corner. I agree. I think that's where we're going with this, and they need to work on this part of the story first.
Yes, they need to. While Chad's
dealing with that,
and before Otis snaps, they need to make the Creed brothers look like as bad as possible. So they go, we need tutelage.
They've got the thing is the crowd. The fans know that the Creed brothers have the potential. Yeah. And all it takes is for the right coach.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the key. The next match was Creed brothers versus Authors of Pain. We've already alluded to how that finished, but there was another segment where Karrion Kross is trying to recruit Xavier Woods into his little faction, and Kofi is saying to him, "Don't go with him." Yeah,
the classic comedy moment from R-Truth from the ice cream truck.
Yeah. Strawberry. and then I love how when they all go away, the New Day were like, Miz was going to say chocolate. Like he's not there to say it. They're like, Miz was going to say chocolate.
Nearly getting cancelled.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they were like, Miz was gonna say chocolate. They just like the way they just did that was so great. Yeah. So, but Karrion Kross continued to try and coax Xavier Woods away from the New Day, well, from Kofi anyway. So,
Yeah.
are we in a position now where Kofi's gonna wind down and retire eventually, and Woods still has some left in the tank, so his character's gonna change at this point, or
I think that.
are we signalling a return for Big E? I know he said that it's not going to happen.
No, I think
But-
I'm with you first. I think WWE have come to the realization that Big E is not coming back. I
Yeah.
think he's doing great on the kickoff shows and stuff, and
Yes.
being like a personality and
Yeah.
voice.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's ever going to get the clear. And I think even if he does get the clear, I think he's sort of like, because a lot of these injuries are mentally as well. It's not just the physical aspect.
Yeah.
I think in his head, he's like, I don't want to do this again because I nearly died. And that's the thing that I
Yeah.
think he's like.
I don't
That's
blame him. I don't
No,
blame
neither
him
do I.
whatsoever.
There's more important things, and he's still going to get paid by WWE. They clearly want him around because they're
Oh
paying him to be on
god,
these
the
kickoff shows.
charisma he has is incredible. It's
So I
actually
think that,
incredible.
So I think WWE realised that the New Day is not going to be a thing anymore.
No,
because
not how it was. No.
Yeah, because Big E's not going to come back.
No.
So I think that they've suddenly gone, okay, yeah, maybe we will have Xavier maybe goes off to him. And maybe that does well for Karrion Kross as well, because it gives him some purpose.
Yeah.
Because he's been losing everything. So maybe if he becomes this cult leader, convincing people to join.
And he has enough members to maybe feud with another big group that's being created as we speak.
Yeah.
You never know, and they're both spooky wooky, you know. You don't know.
Yeah.
You never know. It could be interesting. I think what makes it so interesting for me is I really like Karrion Kross. I really like Xavier Woods. They've never crossed paths. Like, they've done nothing on screen together as far as, well, except for getting battered by the AOP, but like, this is now story stuff. It's not just a match and a bit of talking. This is all, you know. So I really want to see where this goes. I really, really want to see where this goes.
I'm back for round 2. Fuck me.
Sorry. I don't realize how loud that is because obviously these are really good headphones. So going back to the actual thing, Authors of Pain defeat Creed Brothers.
Very quickly as well. It wasn't a long match.
Yeah.
So we then move on to another match, which this pains me as well.
Oh, okay.
This is similar to. No, not as pains me in like a bad way, because like we say, Lyra's being thrust into this main title picture almost straight away. But I love Kairi Sane. I want her to do so well, and since she's come back, she's just basically being a glorified jobber again.
Yeah. It wasn't there a there was a little backstage thing, wasn't there, with Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus?
Yes, there
Yeah.
was almost like a brawl.
Yeah.
Took place.
Yeah. So their feud intensifies and goes on for at least another few weeks.
Probably to get a payoff at Clash at the Castle, so you get Local Boy and Sheamus on the card.
Sorry, yeah. So going back to what you were saying, yeah. Lyra Valkyrie versus Kairi Sane.
Yeah, this was just for me personally. I'm not saying that this was the wrong booking, because it probably was the right one in terms of what's happening in WWE at the minute. But for me personally, I like both of these, and I want better for Kairi Sane. I remember her as the pirate in the sky, and she was so good as a singles athlete in NXT. To then just have her lose every week now, and even in the tag team matches with Asuka, she was the one taking the fall. It's not.
Yeah.
It's like they've gone, we really want you back from Japan, and she's gone, okay, yeah, cool, and then they've just gone, yeah, but we're still going to treat you like you did before.
Yeah, you're still going to job to everybody. Yeah.
Because she's still only young, isn't she?
I don't know.
Let me just
I have no
double check
idea.
what it's on.
I think she's in her early 30s.
Yeah,
and that's
I
just a
think
guess.
it's-
But-
uh,
But yeah, while you're looking that up, Lyra Valkyrie defeated Kairi Sane in a pretty straightforward match, except
he is 35.
oh, there you go. So I mean, Valkyrie won, and Sky wasn't pleased with that result, and she smashed up her room.
Yeah. Just put a foot through the table.
Yeah, classic.
Mahogany table. Fucking
yeah,
bomb to replace.
yeah.
Smashed 2 lamps. That
Yeah.
was switched on at the time. Right after smashing the table. Could have caused a fire. Reckless.
Yes. Well, I think that's the least of our worries. And then there was a backstage segment with Damian Priest confronting Finn Balor and JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio. Called them out for talking to Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And he actually threatened Dom to fix it. So yeah. I thought that was pretty good because it means that at least it's another thing as well. It's like the other people in the WWE universe don't know what's happening everywhere else, but they're there. You know, it's like they're oblivious to it. Like it's not like, you know. Whereas now Priest is like, no, I saw that. I know what's going on. Like, deal with it. It just makes them more believable as fucking human beings.
Yeah, storylines are more believable.
Yeah.
Then we get on to 619, and that's not his finisher move. That's the amount of times we've seen this match in the last 2 months. It was Rey Mysterio versus Carlito.
No one's asked for this. No one gives a damn. No one. Just for the love of God, let this fucking go, WWE. This no one cares. No one.
If you play their game that they have helped design, and you play GM mode, and after a pay-per-view, if you put the same 2 people against each other, it'll go, rivalry's on cooldown. This rivalry's getting stale. People are against it. So why are we still forcing it down our throats?
That's the thing I can't understand. Anyway, Mysterio defeats Carlito. Damian Priest got back involved with the LWO and all this. Why, I have no idea. Just because apparently Carlito's kind of helping the Judgment Day at the moment. Yeah, you know. Carlito was wearing his purple tights again.
Judgment Day colours.
Yeah, Judgment Day colours, but also his original WWE, his original colours on WWE TV as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's just move on from that because no one cares. Mysterio won. That's all you need to know from
that
match. That's good.
Yeah, and then we had an Alpha Academy meeting in the ring. He had a match against Bronson Reed.
Yeah, so Otis had a match against Bronson Reed, which, as we all know, all Otis had to do was clothesline Bronson Reed, and he would have been out for 7 years.
Yeah, but he failed. He failed to do that, and he lost, which then led to Chad Gable saying that he was going to whip Otis with his belt. And I watched this promo, and and do you know what? There was a part of it where I got a little bit uncomfortable because it felt like it was getting a little bit too real, which is great because it means it's believable, right? And I genuinely thought he was going to tag Otis a few times with his belt, but then the lovely Maxine Dupree grabbed Chad Gable's arm before he could hit him.
Yeah.
And it got a massive pop, massive pop. She's gonna be such a massive baby face. Like she's gonna do so well. When the Alpha Academy finally disintegrates, this version of it just lets go. They might have their own little stable for a while, but I really think that she's gonna do some wonderful stuff. Otis is getting back his shine that he lost majorly with the whole Mandy Rose and Ham story. It kind of sounds like a Dr. Seuss book, but Mandy Rose and Ham. It just was ridiculous. They made him to not have a brain in his head, whereas now he's just been bullied. And then there's Akira Tozawa, who is earning a paycheck. Can't you can't be mad with him. He's literally doing what he needs to do. Yeah, great segment. Pointless match, but great segment. Yeah.
Yes, then it goes on to the main event, and the steel cage lowers to the ring.
Yeah, that's right.
And Becky still decided to cosplay as Carrie, even though we weren't in Saudi Arabia anymore, and have blood pouring down her.
Yeah.
It's a unique outfit to come to the ring with, but there you go.
Yeah, interesting. But yeah, it ended how most people would have assumed. Yeah, Liv Morgan retains.
Yeah, thanks to the Judgment Day. So Dom comes to the ring, opens the door so Becky Lynch could get out. Becky does actually start to walk to it, but then Braun Strowman comes charging to the ring and does his choo-choo round the ring.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's still chasing JD McDonough.
Yeah, and he as JD runs past
he
the
hits
ring,
the door, right?
Yeah, Braun for some reason just can't see the door wide open and just plows into it, and technically assaults a woman because the door swings back into Becky's head, and knocks her out. So Liv can easily just walk out. But yet again, what WWE have done here is last time Liv won a belt, she beat Ronda Rousey, and then won matches by cheating, looking weak, just constantly looking weak. And they've gone, right, we're going to rectify our wrongs. You beat Becky Lynch for the belt by interference. Okay, but you'll have a rematch and you've won that by
interference.
Whether
it was meant to be or not. Yeah, it's all gone a bit sideways, hasn't it? I feel like they do not believe in Liv Morgan as a competitor who can win clean. I would say it's because of her size. She is very petite. And I just think, I don't know.
Then we get to the special event, which was missed in America because Raw went off the air before this aired. So this was a UK exclusive and the rest of the world exclusive, which is when Liv goes walking back up the ring because she basically does a runner with the belt, and she walks past an irate Dom, who's looking on in disgust before Liv suddenly gets a weird look in her face, and then just fucking
gives him a smooch,
making out with a married man.
Gives him a big old fucking kiss, which actually looked more painful than it did nice.
And can we point out just how uncomfortable Dom looked during all this? Like, I think he's a really nice guy deep down, but he plays the heel so well.
Yeah.
And I think he's like, I've just got married. Like, everyone knows he's just got married in real. They even brought it up that he just got married on WWE television.
Yeah.
And then just gone, but Liv's going to kiss you now. You've only been married 2 months, but she is going to start making out with you.
Yeah, no, I would be so uncomfortable.
Next week, you're having a live sex celebration. Here's the video of Edge and Lita. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. You're
going to start sucking on Liv's toes next week to open Raw.
Yeah. It does. But it feels ridiculous, doesn't it? Let's be honest. It feels absolutely ridiculous. But that's the end of Raw.
Yeah, Becky Lynch then, after Raw went off the air, cut a promo basically saying goodbye. Well, it wasn't really a promo, actually. The crowd started chanting for her, and she sort of just waved to everyone and then slowly walked away out while waving to all the fans and thanking them. So it looks like she is actually gone, basically, for a bit. It doesn't look like she's signed. It wasn't on cameras, so I can't even say that it was a work. Obviously, the cameras are probably still running, and they could use that in a video package later down the line. But from what it all looks like, she is done for a bit with no more Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I think be sad, really.
I hope she doesn't go anywhere else because she's literally made. She's WWE made, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If she goes to another promotion, I don't think they can use her the same way. I don't think that they're going to get the same response.
He'll go back to an Irish dancing lass.
Oh, God. I remembered that. I was just like, oh my God, yeah, she got completely fucking shit canned. Like, they gave her the worst. They might as well have just made her a fucking leprechaun. Like, it's the worst, thing they could have done. But yeah.
Yeah, that's Raw. And
so that's Raw, yeah.
That's your week of everything. Before we go, we'll quickly touch on another event that happened on Saturday or Sunday, which was AEW's Double or Nothing for the 4th or 5th year running.
Mm-hmm.
Some weird moments in this, which I'll only touch on 3 of them. One of them being the Anarchy in the Arena match, which was just fucking batshit crazy from start to finish. It's young Bucks and stuff, so it's just going to be a spot fest of hard hitting moves. Darby Allin's in it, so it's going to be painful. So at one point, Jungle Boy gets set on fire by a flamethrower. Darby Allin just literally lights Jungle Boy on fire in the middle of this match, and they have to get people to rush out with fire extinguishers to put him out as he runs around on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Darby Allin then gets strung upside down by his ankles, and one of the good things that came from this match is every now and then, I'm not like a shoe collector. I know shoes do go for a lot, but a lot of the shoes that I wear, because this is going to pain a lot of collectors, a lot of the shoes I wear are like limited edition ones, and like somewhere someone's done a collab. I have a few ordinary ones as well. But I tend to buy shoes because I like the look of them, and I'm actually going to use them what they were designed for, which is footwear. But Young Bucks have done a collaboration with Reebok, I think it is, and they've made their own sneakers, as America calls them, trainers for the UK. So they brought a box of them to the ring, but they had thumbtacks on the bottom.
Oh,
they look like cleats, and Darby Allin's like hung upside down, draped, and they super kick him in his head, and blood just sprays everywhere as they super kick him in the head with these thumbtack boots.
Right.
That match, batshit crazy. If you like blood and you like gore, watch it. But it's absolutely insane for any normal person that has a weak stomach. Don't watch it. We then also have another mental match on the night. Was the barbed wire steel cage match between Malachi Black and Adam Edge Copeland, where we got a return of Gangrel, who popped up from out of the ring to help fend off the House of Black and started spitting blood everywhere. But there was a moment in the match where Adam Edge Copeland forgot that he's a 50-year-old man and scaled to the top of a 20-foot steel cage before leaping off. And it looks... Watch the video, and if you can leave a comment below, what do you think Adam, or Edge, for people that watch WWE who are probably here, because that's the main thing we cover, what do you think Edge was trying to do? Because it looks for the life of me like he was going to go for like a splash almost, but then chickened out because of the height or something like that.
I think he bottled it. So there's something to me that says he bottled it, but the fact that he's literally, and he's a tall dude,
he basically
just lands
the ring apron.
he literally like pencil dives the ring, and he delivers like a fucking he delivers like a chop to Malachi Black, sorry, who's on the he's Aleister Black. He's lying on the table, and he Edge sort of karate chops him across the on the table, which that does break. But Edge then just snaps his tibia because he just lands like that. He just oh mate, he's lucky his knees didn't end up in his rib cage somewhere.
Yeah. It's like
20 foot.
You are 50.
Dude, you're fucking old now. Come on. That's funny, man.
That was mental. And then the only other thing that I want to touch on this was another one of my predictions for the year has failed miserably.
Yep.
We had story time. No, it wasn't Mercedes Moné.
Oh,
We had story time with Adam Cole, baby.
yeah,
And he goes walking around the ring, and he goes, I should be out the back now, checking on my friend Roddy Strong, who's just had his match where he had a fight against Will Ospreay.
yeah,
And he's like, I could have been out there. I'm not cleared to compete. This, that, and the other. Blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, the lights go out in the arena, and we
Yeah.
get a video package of a first-person point of view, where a door opens, and there's a Burberry scarf around a mannequin.
yeah,
And then a photo gets held up of Adam Cole that's ripped in half, and the other half gets held up, and MJF's there, and then
Yeah.
the music of MJF hits the arena,
yeah,
sending fans into an absolute crisis.
yeah,
There was semen everywhere as people blotted all over their neighbour, all over the row in front. The entire arena became a splash zone, and MJF came walking to the ring.
But he was cosplaying as 2002 Triple H, so
Yes, he was. And then the first thing he did was take a shot at WWE, but he's been away for so long, MJF, that he doesn't
Yeah.
realise that Vince McMahon has left.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
takes a shot as Vince McMahon, who's not there anymore.
yeah. But I think no, but you see, I think this is all big. This is all big brain, because he's dressed as Triple H, like he's wearing the identical jacket that Triple H wore when he returned, and he's taking a shot at Vince McMahon. I think this is all. I think this is all big. This is all big brain here. This is all big brain happening. I think.
But,
I think we're going to see something very interesting next year. I
so
think.
the long and short of it, he's basically said that he's staying. He's
Yeah.
not. He's not. He's AEW. He's not leaving.
Yeah.
He's signed a new contract.
Yeah.
The bidding war of 24 has been won by AEW.
Yeah.
But we did learn that Adam Cole is made of paper mache, and after jumping off the ramp and
Yeah.
fracturing his leg or ankle, whatever it was, he's still not cleared to compete, and it doesn't look like he's going to be cleared to compete for some time.
Yeah.
So rather than a beatdown, we basically got MJF just going for the hug. They hugged it out, and everyone was like, "What? He's just forgiven him?" No, he punted him square in the dick.
Yeah. Need him in the balls.
So basically, Tony Khan has gone, What did you do last week, Tony? Well, before this event's gone, and he was like, just watch reruns of WWE. So we've got MJF dressing like Triple H from here. We're going to rerun Nakamura and AJ Styles, so we're just going to have you punt them in the dick, because that was really fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But then the only other news coming out of AEW is lots of people are unhappy because Tony Khan has weirdly gone full Vince McMahon. And he's apparently changing the script multiple times, leading right up to the start of a show, so people don't actually know who's going to be on the show, who's winning matches. They can't plan anything. It's just sort of like, okay, I've changed this. This is now happening. This match is now happening. It's like he's just got his toys and gone, you pair, you fight this week.
Yeah.
And Saray, or Paige from the WWE fans, has basically said she's done. She is.
Mm-hmm.
She put a tweet out, and it got deleted. And everyone was like, oh, Daniel Bryan's done it again. He's calmed a locker room. And then she put another tweet out saying it was basically the SpongeBob meme. Like, I'm going to step out.
Yeah.
So it looks like she's done with AEW. And I'd like to see her back in WWE now that if they clear her, because AEW have cleared her. So she has been wrestling. They know she can do it. So maybe we might get...
You never know.
We might get This Is My House.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're watching this and you don't watch other wrestling things, one, what are you doing? But two, there's another channel that is a lot bigger than this little dainty one called Cultaholic. And they have started a thing trying to get Triple H to book Joe Hendry for Clash at the Castle. So if you watch us and not them, just please tweet at Triple H and say, book Joe Hendry for Clash at the Castle.
Yeah. Yeah, do it. Definitely do it. It'll be so worth it. Trust me, it'll be so.
Even
worth
if you're
it.
here for just me, Ryu and I, like I know some of yous are. Saber, I know it's you. You don't even watch wrestling. You're here for us. So tweet at Triple H because you don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't know who Joe Hendry is. For all you know, he's a cleaner, but he's not.
No, he's one of the best parody wrestlers in a long time. He's really
From
good
Scotland.
From Scotland
Scottish
as well.
own.
So, Yeah, he's brilliant. So funny. Right. Well, with that, we've come to the end of the podcast for this week. There was a lot to pack in there, so yes, this is a bit of a bumper episode indeed. We will be back with now that our schedules are a bit more. Well, I have an idea of what my schedule is, and Orca has an idea of what he's doing. So we will be able to resume our lovely universe mode,
Yes.
which has been on a little bit of a hiatus.
I will have a better idea next week, because for those of you that don't know, some of you do if you've been to either mine or Ryu's stream, I've been applying for a manager role at work. I had the interview today, so now I've got no more planning. I don't need to worry about doing my presentation and stuff like that, so I've got a lot more time there. And I find out next week. He's hoping to get it out by the end of the week next week.
Yeah.
So I'll find out if I've got it.
Yeah, and I'm not attending weddings in Spanish islands.
Yeah, you were out clubbing. You were raving.
I was not. I was in bed. It was hot. It was uncomfortable. The air conditioning wasn't working.
You left as a tribal chief. You came back as a rosebud. You were dancing. You'd been on stag do's, joined in. Oi, 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 lads.
No, the stag do was over here. But mate, I've got stories for you. But I'll tell you off air. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming in and checking in with us this week. We really do appreciate it. Again, if you are not subscribed on YouTube, please drop a subscription in there, and if you are listening on Spotify, please drop a follow in there. It does help us with our not only with our numbers, but it also helps us know what is working or what isn't working. And feel free to leave some suggestions and comments in the comment section in YouTube or in the notes section on Spotify. And that's it. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, have we got anything else in the pipeline? Any more of your Donruss card openings? We've got one more, I think.
There's one more part in that. We've got all of your card openings, and I am still.
Oh, you can shorten that to probably about 5 minutes.
And I am cutting through the quiz that we did.
Yes. Okay.
There was obviously technical issues halfway through that where the microphones just got out.
Yeah.
So I'm working my way through that. That's taken a bit longer to do because, not in terms of editing. It's like it was all shot on one camera. It's all one take, so I don't have to do any like fancy cuts. It's just literally, it's a long video. It was a 80-odd question quiz.
Yeah.
So I'm making sure that I'm cutting out all the dead air spaces, making sure that it flows. Need to cut out the big chunk where the microphones died when we charged them. So
that's fine.
That'll come eventually.
Yeah. And with that is the end of the podcast. So thank you guys. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.